Oh, hello there. Today is Thursday, 14th April, and
Stop!
thank God for that. So today's Thursday, the 14th of April, and something interesting caught my eye. It was actually a couple of days ago, at least, the 12th, which is Tuesday. For those of you who haven't heard, Michael Aranda, who is well known amongst YouTube viewers, well, some YouTube viewers, is currently stuck in France. He cannot get into Britain. Basically, he came over from America. He's an American man. He came over from America to England to produce a record for Chameleon Circuit. He said he wanted to stay here for 6 weeks. They wrote 6 months in his passport, which basically which you'd think would mean that he had leave to stay in this country for 6 months. He went down to France for a couple of days on a small holiday with his friends, and was not allowed back into Britain. Was not allowed back into England. Watch the video. There's a link below in the video. I might link it somewhere here or here somewhere. It'll be somewhere on. I'll put a link somewhere on the screen, somewhere on my hand, and you can click that and watch the video that talks about him not being able to come back to Britain. It's possible that it may have been resolved by the time you see this video, so there you go. Being stuck in a foreign country, not being able to come back to Britain, is something that I can relate to. When the family and I went to Uganda for a holiday back in Christmas of 2005, there was a problem with mine and my father's passports, which we were unable to get resolved before we left. But we did speak to the Home Office, and they said that no problem, you can get it sorted out while you're there, and no problem. Of course, this was not true at all. In fact, the 3-week holidays turned into a 5-week stay in Uganda for my father and I. Not that that itself was a big problem, because Uganda, Kampala, is a very nice place. I was staying with relatives, so having somewhere to stay and food was not a problem. But the stress of not knowing that you're going to be able to come back home is quite hard on me, I tell you. Again, I'm not going to go into details, but eventually, after 5 weeks in Uganda, Dad and I got the green light, had our passports properly stamped with the proper bits of paperwork in it, and we came back to England, and everything was fine. Of course, staying the extra 2 weeks in Uganda was more of a positive than a negative in hindsight. Partly because I got to meet some people I hadn't met before, met some new friends and some relatives that I didn't know I had, and also met a cousin of mine who I hadn't seen for 27 years. I'm originally from Uganda, and I've got a lot of family over there. But I met a cousin of mine. In fact, it was the day before we left, after all the passport shenanigans were sorted out. And we met her in hospital, and I knew she was ill, but I didn't realise just how sick she was. That's why, despite I'm the kind of person who will always have a camera with him and take photographs of everything, but seeing her in the hospital, I could not bring myself to even touch the camera at all, so there's no images of the last time I met her. 2 days after we got back to Britain, Dad came and told me that she'd passed away, so I'm just glad that I was able to see her one last time before the end. Anyway, sorry to be such a downer, but sometimes I think. So if you're watching Michael Aranda, it's probably not, but if you are, I can sympathise with you, and I hope that you get it all resolved. There's a couple of people who replied to the video that I'm going to link to, who have some good advice. There was 20 video replies to that. I'm not going off on a slight tangent here. There's 20 video replies to this Neremon video about Michael Randa's plight. Only about 4 of them were replies to the video itself. All the others were just had nothing at all to do with Michael Randa or Neremon. So it seems that a lot of these people are putting replies to videos just because somebody's well known and they're going to get watched. So I watched, out of 20 videos, I watched 16 videos that I really had no interest in at all. Anyway, that's fine. So that's me for today. And I shall see you, well, I won't see you, but you shall see me tomorrow. If you want, if you tune in. I've also been wondering if my Australian friend is going to make any videos at all. I said they would, but fingers crossed. Bye. Till later.